Hi, Renee.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Pretty good.
I'm Caitlin. I'm going to be seeing you today. How are you doing today?
I'm all right.
Yeah? Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming. We have a couple of just housekeeping things to go over before we really get started. Um, First of all, I wanted to give you a little bit of background on myself. So currently I'm a student at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology here in the city. So what that means is I'm not licensed yet, but I'm on my way to getting my master's in counseling psychology. So that being said, I am directly supervised by a licensed psychologist, and really her and I just work together to make sure that I'm providing you with the best services possible.
Okay.
Moving on, I know that they had you sign an informed consent form back in the lobby, but I wanted to go over that with you now again, just in case you have any questions for me. So everything that we talk about in this room is going to stay between you and I. There are a couple of exceptions to that. So first, the supervisor that I mentioned, her and I will discuss certain aspects about things that we talk about. And that's, again, just to make sure that I'm providing you with the best services possible and make sure, she's really paying attention to what I'm doing more so than what you're saying or anything like that. I also need to report if I hear of intent to harm yourself or others, as well as any instances of elder abuse or child abuse. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, then let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing that I want to do, and some of these questions may seem a little bit odd, but I do it with everybody, so just bear with me.
Okay.
So can you tell me what the season is?
Fall.
Okay, perfect. And today's date?
November 2nd, 2018.
Perfect. What state are we in?
Illinois.
Okay, and what's this building called?
The Merchandise Mart.
Yep. And what floor are we on?
The 4th.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to say 3 objects, and I'm just going to ask you to repeat them back. So backpack, dog, watch.
Okay. Backpack, dog, watch.
Perfect. I'm also going to have you count backwards by 7s from 100. I won't make you go all the way to 0. So starting at 100.
Oh my gosh.
And take your time.
93.
Mm-hmm.
80. I suck at math.
Let's do by 5s. Let's do
Okay,
by 5,
okay.
So back from 100.
100, 95, 90, 85, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You can stop there. I know the 7s get
Yeah,
tricky.
those are tricky.
Awesome. And then, do you remember the 3 objects that I said previously?
You said backpack, dog, and watch.
Perfect. Beautiful. Can you name an animal for me?
Fine.
Perfect. And a candy bar.
Let's do Snickers.
Sounds good to me. Can you repeat the following sentence? No ifs, ands, or buts.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Wonderful. I'm going to have you take this paper, and if you could just fold it in half for me, and then fold it in half again, and then set it on the floor. Wonderful. And then, would you read this sentence out loud?
Close our eyes.
Perfect. Thank you. And then the last thing I'm going to have you do is just write a complete sentence, any sentence you'd like. Wonderful. Great. Thank you. I know that can be a little bit tedious and seems silly, but you did great. Wonderful. So what brings you in today?
Well, I just moved into my new home, and I feel very overwhelmed. I just moved in actually about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I feel very overwhelmed, and I know I have boxes to unpack, and my neighbors seem so skeptical, and I feel like I just don't fit in my neighborhood.
Okay. So kind of a couple things. You are dealing with this big move and the stress of unpacking and all of that.
Yeah.
On top of, it sounds like your neighbors might be not so welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah. I kind of question myself, like, did I do the right thing moving here to Chicago?
Mm-hmm. Where did you move from?
New York, actually.
That's a big move.
Yeah.
Was that as a result of a job change? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
And what is your new role like? Are you liking that?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's just the whole process of meeting new people and trying to stand out again. It's kind of like a big deal to me because I've always had trouble not like putting myself out there.
Yeah.
I kind of have to like go through so many challenges too.
Okay. Would you say you're like shy or reserved?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. It sounds like you're going through several adjustments in different areas of your life, and that can be overwhelming, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So when you say that you're overwhelmed, can you tell me a little bit more about how you're feeling?
Like, for example, if I know I have to unpack the kitchen stuff, and I know I need it because, like, the bowls, it's hard for me to find bowls, forks, spoons, and I just get so tired and I feel very fatigued that I just rather sit on the couch and just watch TV. And, like, I tend to put it off.
So in feeling overwhelmed, you kind of are becoming unproductive because of it?
Yeah, and that's not me. That's not me.
Yeah, you're typically more motivated to get things done.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm preparing for this new welcoming party.
Oh, great.
Yeah, because I have family here.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
But I'm kind of like, I really don't want to see you, but my mom kind of forced me to do it, and
okay.
Yeah.
And you said this is unlike you. Are you typically more upbeat, would you say?
Yeah, normally I am, but lately I think,
yeah. That's understandable. And so did these feelings of being overwhelmed and kind of more lethargic, you could say, did that start 2 weeks ago, like right after the move, or when would you say you started noticing that?
I think it happened like I kind of felt it just like on the drive here, that like just constantly thinking like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that before this date, and it just gets overwhelming for me just even driving here. And I was like, wow. And then when I unloaded the truck and then put my things in the house, I mean, I felt happy at one point, but then just overwhelmed again.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I know you said you have family here. Do you have a roommate?
No, it's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it probably feels like the whole burden is on you then to
get
this done. And that can be, I mean, I've had moves myself, so I totally understand how overwhelming that can be. So in terms of like dealing with stress on a normal basis, would you say you get overwhelmed easily, or is this very unlike you?
I think I noticed that like I get really stressed out and very anxious and overwhelmed altogether when like deadlines come. And I noticed like at work, because I worked in the office, that when my boss would put a bunch of stack of papers on my desk and said I want this done at this time, I just like completely shut down and was like, I can't. Like, I need help. Like, I can't do that.
So you said anxious as well as overwhelmed. So tell me what that feels like to you.
I get like my fingertips get cold, but my body heat is like really hot, and like I tend to like stutter if I'm talking to someone, and I lose concentration actually. Like just looking at those papers, like sometimes I'll read the same sentence over and over again, and it's kind of like, whoa, like yeah.
And it sounds like you freeze in those moments a little bit, and you're kind of paralyzed.
Yeah, it's kind of like that feeling. Have you ever like going up for a presentation and
you forget everything.
Yeah, and it's overwhelming.
Yeah, that's definitely understandable. So how about going back to your family? Are you close with your family?
I'm close with my dad and my sister, but not my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just not close with her, or is there any sort of
no?
conflict there?
She's just so like, I need this, and do this, and it's kind of like I need to live my own life type of thing. Like she always tries to structure my life, and I don't like that.
Okay, so she's maybe controlling.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And has your dad come over and help unpack or offered to unpack?
Oh, he offered, and he came one day, and he asked if he needed to come again, and I was like, no, like go work, go do what you have to do. Don't worry about me, type of thing.
Yeah.
So.
You sound like independent.
Yeah.
You don't like accepting the help.
No, I don't like help.
Do you think it would be worthwhile to kind of let them help unpack the boxes? Because it sounds like that's really the trigger here for you.
Yeah, I mean I can, but I'm just afraid that like if my mom comes in packing, like helps me, she's gonna be like, oh, you should put this here, and you should buy this, and I'm just like, come on.
Yeah.
Like you have your own house. Decorate, not mine.
Definitely. So I know you said. So obviously the move is very anxiety inducing and unpacking and all of that. Sounds like work sometimes with deadlines can get anxiety inducing, but is there anything else that you can recall has kind of brought on those sweaty hands and the fingertips and all of that?
I don't, not that I can remember, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that I really ask all of the clients that I see, and it's really just so I can make sure that I'm protecting everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any thoughts of wanting to harm yourself ever? No. Wanting to harm others ever? Okay. All right. Then we are all good. And again, I ask all of my clients that just to make sure, especially when we're talking about very stressful life changes and things like that. It can be a big thing to deal with. Wonderful. So, do you have any friends in Chicago? I know you mentioned family.
I have this one friend, but ever since he got a girlfriend, he has like pulled away from me.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I guess it's like that stage where like I gotta focus on my girlfriend and not my friends type of thing. And I mean, we grew up together, and he's the only friend that I have here.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, I don't want to be a burden, you know.
You don't want to feel like you're nagging him to hang out
Yeah,
all the time or anything like that. I understand that. Well, so it sounds like you have your support system with your family here. And how are things going at work so far?
Ooh. They actually want me to present a magazine to a big company, whatever, and I am not looking forward to that.
Wow. That's
not looking forward to that at all.
Okay. And when is that?
In 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot to, I can see why that would be stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you have any ways that kind of help you cope when you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed?
Not listen to
music.
But sometimes that is kind of like overwhelming for me.
Overwhelming in what sense?
I think it's the music choice thing.
Oh, okay.
It kind of makes me like amped up and like not like when you run and you listen to music that's more upbeat.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm trying to calm down, I listen to music upbeat. Maybe, yeah.
So you're saying maybe listen to something slower.
Yeah.
To bring you down.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good suggestion. I think that's something that would be good to try for sure. And then do you have any other hobbies?
No, not that I know of. Like I can remember. I mean, when I was young, I liked to paint.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
That was like in middle school.
So not anymore.
No, I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I know you said when you are feeling really, you'll look at the boxes and you just would rather sit on the couch. So are you watching movies? Are you reading?
Netflix actually.
Netflix. Okay. Would you say that helps?
It helps, but I hate feeling lazy.
Okay.
And it's kind of like it's taking a toll on me, where it's like, oh, I need to go to the gym type of thing, or I need to unpack these boxes. But they're just like, there's so many boxes, and like
So perhaps in the moment, it's that draw towards Netflix. That sounds like the better option, but then it almost doesn't make you feel worse after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And like sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and unpack some, but then put it on the floor and then not put them where they need to be put.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's like affecting my sleep as well.
I was just gonna ask. So what's your sleep schedule like?
Well, because I have to be in the office by 7 a.m. I normally try to hit bed. I try to go to bed at like 9-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But lately I've been going to bed at like 1.
Okay.
And waking up at like 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not sleeping very long, And
No.
when you do sleep, is it a deep sleep or is it kind of disrupted?
It's a deep sleep, and then I noticed that when my alarm goes off, I'm like so like I don't know how to explain it, like out of it because I'm such in a deep sleep, and it's like I feel not well rested at all.
A little disoriented.
Yeah.
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 That's tough to then get up and go to work and perform, and then on top of all that, come home and want to unpack boxes.
Yeah.
That's incredibly. I can't imagine dealing with all of that either.
Yeah.
So kind of thinking about things that might help when you're feeling overwhelmed and unmotivated to unpack boxes. What do you think? Is there anything that you think would help with those feelings of anxiety?
I think first of all I need to stop procrastinating, and I think make friends
Okay.
or go seek help for like maybe I should hire movers like
Yeah.
unpackers. I don't know if there's a thing about that, but
Yeah.
but I do need to focus on the presentation coming up, and I feel like I can't live with all these boxes around my house all the time.
Yeah.
And like if I do want to make friends, I have to get my house all set up.
Right.
Because I'll kind of feel like, oh, I'm not messy, you know.
I understand.
So
I mean, from what it sounds like, you're an overachiever a little bit, and you're not really giving yourself much of a break. You know, you just had this incredibly big move and a big adjustment with a new job and everything, and it's understandable to not have all of your boxes unpacked right away. So maybe, you know, if this presentation is kind of top of mind for you, give yourself some credit and give yourself that break. And if you need bowls, unpack the bowls. Focus on what you need is what I would say.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, on the bright side, like my closet is unpacked.
There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like it's just the downstairs area
Okay.
that needs more.
Yeah. And I know sometimes something I've seen a lot of is feeling like you need to unpack it all and get it all done in one day. Whereas you can say, oh, you know, I'll just unpack one box right now, and then, you know, kind of break it up into smaller tasks might do the trick.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And then I know you said looking to meet people. Are your coworkers, you know, people that you could see yourself being friends with?
Some of them, like I haven't really gone out there and you know, maybe I'll like I commented on one of my coworkers' lunch. I'm like, oh, that smells good, but other than that, like I never took it a step further, saying like, oh, we should go grab drinks or anything like that.
It's tough when you're so new at a job.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like I have to prove myself.
Totally.
And that's the same with like my mom. I always have to prove to her like I can be by myself.
So what? Yeah, let's go back to your mom then. So, growing up, what was it like, kind of dealing with her around the house?
Well, like as being the youngest, I out of 3. My older sister is a nurse, and that's like the ideal. Like, oh my god, I need you. Like my whole family's structured to be, oh, if you're gonna grow up and go to college, be a nurse.
Oh, okay.
So, and then my brother, he wants to be a doctor, and so he's already favored. They're both already favored, and then I'm like the oddball and saying like, no, I'm gonna work for this magazine company and, you know, work my way up there.
So for them, they value maybe medicine and wellness over journalism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I never understood why. I really don't, because it's like, shouldn't parents want their kids to be whatever they want to be? But now with my mom, and my dad doesn't speak up either. He usually tells my mom to tell me.
Okay.
I just get really, really frustrated.
But you sense that he feels the same way.
Yeah. But he's more like kind of accepting to what I'm doing, but
just not as controlling.
Yeah, not as verbal as my mom. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And how have you? I mean, you grew up with her, so how did you cope with all of that? I mean, feeling like she was overbearing.
Honestly, like if she's lecturing me, I would just walk away.
Okay.
And I still do that now. And I know it's kind of like rude, but I still do it.
Well, yeah, it's hard. It's if that's not what you want to be hearing,
Yeah.
that can chip away at you. So that's understandable. So do you just kind of avoid seeing her at this time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially I feel ever come visit me right now. Oh no, I feel like my stress level would go even higher.
Because you're already so stressed.
Yeah.
That's the last thing that you need.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But your brother, you said, he's in the area still?
Yep.
Okay. And you're close with him?
Yeah. They all have kids. Both of my siblings. They all have kids. And that's another thing I'm getting pressured to have kids, but I'm really not interested in having kids.
Not interested ever in having kids?
Ever having kids.
Okay. Do you have a partner?
No.
No?
Not interested in that either.
Okay. So you're just kind of on an independent...
Yeah.
Hey, good.
Because I feel like it's the field that I'm in. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm dedicated more to my job than to even have a partnership.
Well, it sounds like a demanding career, and it sounds like something you're really dedicated to, which I think is a positive. I think it's great that, I don't know a ton about your job or your position or anything, but from what it sounds like, they really value you if they're already having you do this big presentation as a new member of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So that's incredible. Awesome. So then kind of looking forward, I know you came into therapy today and you're dealing with a lot of overwhelmed and anxious feelings from this big move and the job transition. So what would you like to get out of therapy and out of kind of seeing me?
Just really how to cope when I feel very anxious.
Mm-hmm.
And how to adapt to my environment. Because I feel like I'm so focused on what people think about me.
Okay.
And that's including my neighbors and things, my coworkers, my boss.
Yeah.
And especially my family too.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I just need to know how not to do that.
Sure.
And just focus on myself.
Yeah. So just some tools that you can use on a daily basis to deal with the things that life is throwing at you.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, actually the neighbors were something else that I wanted to ask about. So you said they're not very warm and welcoming?
No, I live in a condo, and my neighbor across from me saw me moving in but didn't offer to help or didn't say hi.
Oh.
Really
okay.
didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just looked and closed her door.
Okay.
I don't know what that was about, but it felt kind of weird.
Right, you would think as a new neighbor, people would be introducing themselves and things like that.
And I even looked and I said hi and ignored.
Really?
Yeah, and I just that's weird.
Yeah. Well, that's frustrating, and perhaps it was something as simple as he or she didn't hear you, or it just takes them some time to warm up. Maybe.
Yeah. I did move 2 weeks ago, so I don't know.
I hope that gets better for you.
Yeah, because it kind of gets awkward. I like having neighbors.
Sure.
I do. Sure. And I don't know, maybe that neighbor can potentially become a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I know when in New York I had a neighbor that was a friend.
Definitely.
But this one I don't know.
Not so sure about yet?
Not so sure. No.
Well, it's still early, and I'm hoping that neighbor will warm up to you. But in the meantime, we can definitely work on some things, some tools that you can use to not maybe take things like that to heart so much, and not internalize things like that, or internalize kind of the controlling and overbearing aspects that your mom is kind of putting on you.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that's kind of been bothering you that we should cover today?
Not that I know of, really. Just going off about the partnership thing. I'm just always afraid that I'm gonna be feeling lonely eventually.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's because I want someone or because I don't know.
Yeah.
What if I retire? Then what?
Gotcha. So, right now, you definitely want to be focused on your career.
Yeah.
But you're worried that might change and you'll regret not?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, what if I always just think about, what if I meet someone and they're really interested in me and I'm just what are you doing? Type of thing.
Just that you won't be all that interested?
Yeah. And then I'm going to lose friends like that.
Do you feel lonely ever now? Like when you're by yourself at home?
Kind of like I know I want to buy a dog.
Okay.
I know I do.
Yeah.
I want a dog.
And that would be enough company.
For I think for now.
Yeah.
I think for now.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
that's fun. That's again, it sounds like you're doing amazing with your career and everything.
Yeah.
All that. Awesome. Well, I know we are just coming up to time, but I'm so glad you came in today. And again, like I've been saying, it sounds like a very tough transition moving states, moving all of your belongings, and going from one job to another, moving to a city where your family is, can always be a little stressful, even if they are supportive.
Mm-hmm.
I know that can be stressful. And then finding a new network, a new support system that's overwhelming as well. So I think moving forward, I would love to see you again, and we can work on some ways for you to cope with all of these different challenges that life is throwing at you right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully kind of help you better deal with the anxiety.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that too.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Renee.
you.
I look forward to seeing you again.